Right, so this is not even scripted, right? You spawn a woke flare tank, right? Boom. So you may notice that, you know, it's lacking something. You know, it's just something's missing here, right? You know, there's just you know, there's a gun here, right? But it feels like it's lacking something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just something missing, right? Like there's just no. I feel like this tank's kind of like missing something. Gonna repair it, but as you already noticed, it's not shooting. It's actually not even shooting its main weapon. Like this tank is only casually approaching you. It's just that's its behavior. That's its only thing. The gun is here for show. It's not shooting. Look at it. Has it shot in this fight? Has it ever shot? Nothing. There's nothing coming out of this gun. It's just casually approaching. The CJS is not even active 24/7. Right now, if I repair the weapon, APS, and everything, oh, will it start firing? It's not firing. Is it charging the rail? Oh. The weapons are still on. Yeah, this tank is just POV, new woke flare designs. Like how can you add a tank that doesn't even shoot at you? It's not even shooting at you. You could say that, oh, but what if it shoots only at close range? Well, look at this. Look at what happens. You have a tank that backpedals, and what is this fight? What is this fight? It's just a curb stomp on the woke flare design. The Magist era designs could actually fight back. Like how the Magist era designs were capable of fighting back. This tank is just casually approaching you. It's not shooting back until it's like 10 feet next to you. By then it's dead. Like this tank there's nothing left of it. Maybe it's the top speed 70. Look. Oh, steady. I did. Like how can not even your CJs be active? Ramcraft, by the way, how can your CJS is not even active like 24/7? Like they couldn't even get the Ramcrafts right. And there's nothing special with this tank. There's no like backpedaling CJS or anything. It's just wheel tuning that gets it to this speed. You spawn a different tank. This one slightly faster. How can you add a tank that's not even shooting back? Like this is the new Ashes gameplay. This right here. This is no combat. Just casually approach enemy and just take damage. That's all there is. You can just ignore a unit by going backwards. What? The level of incompetence does not even stop here. The strafe tank for white flares, this time is quite a vile incompetence, in fact. The strafe tank, it was nerfed. They have nerfed the strafe tank for white flares now, presumably so they can have their own tank with super pen. But why would you nerf a tank? The original offer, which is Tacos, submitted this with super pen. It had a funny one-tap shell, but the end product, the product that got in the game, it doesn't have that. So other woke flare crafts can have, you know, super pen, but you know, why would you nerf the strafe tank for your own other tanks? Because, you know, like, this is Ashes. Ashes only has one difficulty. Like, why would you need to nerf it? Like, Super Pen is not the strongest thing in the world. Like, Super Pen gets finished by beams, like by actual blocks. But they nerfed this design. Imagine being the author. Imagine being Tacos right now. Imagine somebody pulling up to you and saying, "Yo, Tacos, your craft is actually bad. You could have had Super Pen on it. You know, like a much stronger gun, but you know, it's not Tacos' fault. Because he submitted it as a Super Pen design." Now, I wonder if anybody notices the problem here with these builds. You know? Like, does anybody notice the problems? I want you to pause the video and notice the problem with these builds. Like, look at these builds. I want you to notice the problem with them. Now, props to anybody who got this right. But I have swapped the turrets on these tanks. For example, this big turret belongs on this guy. I don't really care about the other two turrets, but you get the point. If you can just take the turrets on these designs and swap them around, and people would hardly even notice. That is not good design. Like, that is... Like, what does that say about the designs of these tanks? Like, they're literally just all the same. Like, you don't even notice if the tank turrets were swapped. But you know, not all Ashes of the Empire is bad. Like, we can actually look at some good designs. Now, Steel Striders was actually cooked by a competent Katel, which is Carbango. And that's why. So that's why you will notice that these builds have a much higher quality compared to the Woke Flare designs. And because these tanks are actually high quality, and each one of them is unique. For example, if you have a silhouette test, each of these tanks will pass easily. Like, the only unupdated design is just the Relentless. Not even the tracks were updated. Like, you have designs like the Bear, which is obviously inspired by the GDI tank. Oh, Z-clipping. Z-clipping. Nah, this whole... Restart the whole faction. Some designs are... I wouldn't say intentionally weak. But, you know, like restrictions. For example, if the tank destroyer had Sable Head instead of Hollow Point, it would be quite a menace. Like, look at even the hit spammer tank. You see this gun? Look at this gun. You have a little tube. Like, credit to Carbango. And boom. You have a gun under a gun. Like, this is absolutely big-brained. And you can see that actual effort was put into these designs. Like, if you take two SE designs and you try to swap their turrets, it's gonna be very obvious. Like, you're not gonna get away with it like I did with the other White Flare designs. Like, if the original... Oh, Z-clipping, it's over, it's actually over. But, like, if the excuse is that, you know, the new Woke Flare designs are, they're just stolen vehicles from Steel Empire, well, where's the, you know, where are the similarities? Like, where's the rotundness on the designs, you know? Like, there's nothing, there's no really, like, there isn't really, like, any round shapes. Like, pretty much all of Steel Empire is just more sharp. They're actually sharper than White Flares. Like, how can your excuse be for White Flare designs that they were stolen Steel Empire vehicles? Like, how old were those Steel Empire vehicles? And why were they around? Like, what kind of faction was Steel Empire? Wasn't the Orion... Like, the Orion is probably... Like, I don't really know the lore. But the Orion literally fought Scarlet Dawn and it won. This tank canonically beat Scarlet Dawn, bros. Like, this is... You're telling me that the White Flare designs are stolen designs like this? They look nothing like this, you know? Also, another fun fact is that even the Carbengo even tuned the wheels. Like, he actually had put the effort in. Of course, these are just in the enemy team. He actually even put the effort in to tune the wheels. For example, if you were to go in the menu of these wheels, they would all be like 2 forward friction. If I remember correctly, on the brush car. That's what makes it so fast. That's what makes it so approaches so fast, you know? Oh, the Z clipping. It's over. It's actually over. We're canceling Steel Empire 2, bros. You know, deco-wise, Steel Empire was actually thought about. For example, this sledgehammer here, you can just pull up. Show decorations. And just look at this. This is deco grouped. You can just copy it. Boom. And now you can just put it on your own tank. I'm just gonna put it here for an example, you know. But the actual like decos on these designs were grouped, so you can just pick them up very easily, you know. The decos here were actually thought out. So credit to Dirk Grab Zeppelin for the scythe design, and then Carbengo did the funny missile animations. But you can, like, if you were a noob at the game, you could take any Steel Empire design and just, you know, edit it for your own. This is just an example I've done in like 30 minutes of gameplay. This is an edited scythe. Like, you can take SE designs and just edit them for your own needs. Why? Because SE designs were actually thought about. You know, they were actually checked. Like, the builds were checked by a competent builder. In Steel Empire, you wouldn't have a tank spawning, you know, unloaded or not even shooting at you, because the K-Toll is actually competent. Like, Carbengo has been around from the Debs community for like 2012. The problem is that nobody is listening to him. Let's look at one of my builds, the Jackal. The 2 edits that I saw publicly of my Jackal made it into a hovercraft twice. 2 different people, 2 different times, like just into a hovercraft. Probably because of the jets at the back. It just made it convenient to make it a hovercraft. At the current state of Ashes, it's not worth loading it up. Like, just don't waste your time. Unless you wanna, like, fight, like, Onyx Watch and Steel Empire. The rest is, and well, Twin Guard's good too. Like, how can you have a tank that can't... How can you add a tank to the game that can't even fight back? It's not fighting back. Like, how? How? It's that bad. Like, at the current state of Ashes, it's only worth looking at Onyx Watch, Twin Guard, and SE. How can you add a craft that doesn't even shoot back at you? It just casually approaches you. And that's all it does. At the current state of Ashes, it's just not worth it. And guess what? Only 2 of these designs are not Magist era. The rest have not been updated in years. The rest of the builds are still Magist era. Maybe not the battery. I think this is a Canisian Emperor build. He's the guy behind the Steel Strider's Braveheart. But yeah, these builds are not bad, because they were built at an era where, you know, things were different. Like, they probably didn't... That's a glass glitch right there. We don't talk about that. But these builds were made in the Magist era. Maybe some of these were probably made by Magist, who was a developer from the depths. Like, how can you have a guy update pretty much all of White Flares? I mean, he didn't update them, you know, properly. But, you know, you gotta give him props. Like, he actually built so much in a pretty short amount of time. But leave Lightning Hoods untouched. Lightning Hoods has not been updated in years. We only have 2 updated builds. Just the Tectonic and I don't know how to pronounce this. Like, if you look at the design of the Tectonic, like, these mining arms, they kind of just get in the way of the bridge. Like, what is this design? Like, look, you look from this angle, bridge blocked. It's just the tear shape if you look at it from the top. The Oculus is just, it's just a flashbang. It's so gorgeous. Now for the chrysolite, well, it's just a Scarlet Dawn brick. It's just a Scarlet Dawn brick. Like this belongs in Scarlet Dawn. Like does this build genuinely look like a Lightning Hoods design? Like honestly, does this belong in Lightning Hoods, or is this just we have a Scarlet Dawn brick at home? It even has a slightly split nose, just like Scarlet Dawn designs. Look at these goofy packs. Look at them. Like they didn't even bother to deco this. Where's the effort? Where's the effort? Where's it at? Gonna look inside the bridge for the memes. Our founder. What? We don't even get the memes. We don't even get memes. Like, does this? Look at it. This was not just this is not well thought out design. Like you could just POV, you plop down a slope and then munition defense, and that's it. You call it a day. Like this build feels rushed. Like this build was done in 10 minutes. You know, like over here, look at all these munition detectors. But here, up here, look at it. It's just on a slope. Like it's just inconsistent. More lacking decos. Like is this quality? Is this a quality build? Hello? Let's see if the buildings are updated. Structures. It's gonna spawn in a bunch of buildings. I like how they even spawn in twin guard colors. Like this is just TG colors. Of course, these are Magistera builds, so we're not gonna like critique them because you know they were built at a different time compared to modern from the depths. Like I think this one spawns in. This might be. What colors are these? No, this is like somebody's personal fleet colors. But we do have an updated design, bros. The skyscraper. Does this look like a skyscraper? Like honestly, this logo over here, you would expect it to spin. Am I paused? Like wait, it's just standing there, menacingly. If we look inside, it's all rubber. It's all rubber slopes. I have no idea what the reason behind this was. You don't have to make all the floors, you know, you can just skip out. This is just a building. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is just... It's just a thing. Any lights at nighttime? Does it do anything cool? No? It's just emissives? You should only play Ashes for these three factions. Onyx Watch, Twin Guard, and Nessie. The rest is just... Lightning Hoods is not even existent. Yeah, I guess they have... You know, they have a skyscraper in there, you know. Like, just 3 stories tall. White Flare is just... It's just... You know, like, only two good builds are here. Onyx Watch was done well because, you know... What's his name? Melch. I think that's how you pronounce it. Melch worked on some of this. Which is very good, you know. And Deep War Guard would just... Deep War Guard would just die in one shot, so why would you even... Tutorial faction.